Alexa, and I'm here to talk about External Share. External Share is an exciting app. It enables organizations to share content outside of their instance, outside of the organization. And it does it in a bidirectional way, meaning that those outside of the organization actually have the ability to interact with that content. It does it live, so all of the content is live and updated. And it does it in a secure manner. And when I say secure, I mean also from a privacy point of view, because we do not save your content. We are not saving your data. We are only rendering it. So all of this cool stuff, before we jump into how it works and actually see how it looks like, I just want to clarify two terminologies that you're going to hear. One is internal users and one is external users. So internal users, we are referring to any user that holds a seat in your organization, in your Jira instance. And external users, we're talking about anyone outside of that scope. So outsourcing teams, management that doesn't have access to a project or to your instance at all, vendors, customers, anyone. And now, without further ado, let's just jump in and have a look at what we have here. So as you can see, I have an epic open in Jira. And this was a feature request we received by customer to implement user assignment feature. So we created an epic, we added child issues, linked the support ticket, and added the web link of external share that we actually shared with that customer so that they can stay updated throughout the process by watching that issue, subscribing to that issue. And so now I want to show you how that looks like. Let's go ahead and create an external share link. Now here you have an share configuration view or an issue share configuration view. So I say issue share because there are more than one type of share you can create. We'll get to that in a moment. What do we see here? We see the URL. That is the key to this content. So you can actually, once you click on it, you will get that content rendered on external shares platform. And you can use a secure link like that. It's hard to guess, or you can have a public link that can have part of the name added to the URL. So I don't know, like external. Okay, so that's what that does. You have the issue key and description. This is for you. Won't be displayed to the external user. Now, let's get to the good part. This is all of the configuration you can create that will define how the external users can interact with what they can see. And you can also configure what they can see. So let's say you can enable them to view comments and add comments, view attachments and add attachments. They can also view the linked issues, and you can enable them to also access the content of those linked issues. Similar thing stands for subtasks. You can enable them to change the status, priority, edit the summary or description of your shares. They can even create new tickets. They can create new issues, not from here, from different share type. We'll get to that in a moment. They can view your work log. So let's say you are reporting to a customer and they want to see your work log, how many hours you're actually spending on the tasks they give you. Web links, change log, and time to time we have some integration with other partners so you can see those additional configurations. Now let's go ahead and just render that. Let's see how it looks like. So this is no longer Jira. This is external share. All of the view you see here can be customized. You can put your own logo here, add your own header, add some buttons if you want to. But aside from all of that, you can, as an external user, interact with that content. So now I get to actually change the summary of this ticket. If I do that, you can see that my mark has been added here. If you want to see if this is live, we can change the status. So we can put it to in progress. This is from external share. So once the loading is done, I go here and it's in progress. I'm going to put that back because this is actually our production instance. I don't want to change too much. Now we can add a comment, and the way we interact with Jira is through our technical user. So if you add a comment, for instance, of course, as a logged in user to external share platform, my information is automatically added here. If I'm not logged in and the link is public, then I would have to add that information if I want to add a comment. So this is cool. You can add that comment. And if we go back here, the comment section, this is cool. So that's external share issue view. There's a lot more to it, but let's keep it simple. Now, you might be wondering, okay, that's nice, but what about security? I don't want the public to have access to this link. I don't see any way that you're protecting that link. And you're right. At the moment, we're not. But you can implement many different layers of security methods to protect your content. So it's a very simple, basic security feature is link expiration date and time. So you can make sure that after a week, the external users no longer have access to your content. The link will die, the content access will be cut off. You can protect it with a password. It's nice, but there is a lot of human error. And there might be times when the wrong person will share that password with the wrong person, and that's not a perfect solution. So most technical solutions that people like is integration with their SSO, because bigger organizations usually want everything to be done within their SSO provider. So we can actually let you do that. This is disabled right now, and that has to do with the hierarchy of admins that we implement. We don't only enable you to define interactions for external users, but also internal users. So there is a similar hierarchy to Jira on how each admin level has certain capabilities. And as a basic user, you cannot enable that feature. It has to be enabled by the global admin, and then they can enable you to then interact with that, or force you to use it, actually. We are also integrated with permission schemes, so you can keep track of your internal users and how they interact with external share. But again, we're not going to jump into that. This is my favorite security method. It's simple and it's effective. So I can just go ahead and add my email address. And now that makes sure that once I have that link, once I access this link, it says that link should only be displayed to this user. If that user is you, we're going to verify it, and then we're going to render that information. Otherwise, you're going to hit a block. So let's go on opening a new identity. So this is a page with no cache, with nothing. So as you can see, I'm unable to access that content. I'm going to log in as that user, where it asks me to verify that in fact I have access to that link. So it's a two-step verification process. Once I verify, now I have access. External users can watch issues, as I mentioned earlier. I think that would be a perfect solution for instance, keeping your customers updated on the progress, right? They will get a notification on your email every time you change the status, for example, or you add a comment. So that's something to keep in mind. This is a dashboard view. So if you are part of a selected user or part of an associated workspace, you get to see the tickets that were shared with you. You can subscribe or watch those issues, as I just mentioned. And you can also keep track of your own activity, what you've done with the content of that organization. So you viewed it, you've subscribed, you've edited something. Now, let's go to some exciting right? I'm going to delete that link because we're not going to need that link at the moment. Okay, so now let's go and talk about project level share types. That's how we refer to them internally. So project level share types are essentially your filters, JQL filters, boards, and timelines. We enable you to share those contents outside of the organization as well. And depending on the share type, sometimes you get some added benefits, or maybe not benefits, but added configuration. So if you have any of those three, let's do a filter, right? Let's say I want to, the JQL filter here just says everything from this project in that order. So I'm just gonna go with that. You can see those configurations here again. This will dictate how external user can interact with the issues once they open it from that filter or board or timeline. So, and the security options are also there. There are some added configuration, as I mentioned. You can select how the columns should look like and some content control and layout and so on. But what I want to talk about is this added configuration, allow new issue creation. This will enable external users to create new issues on your instance. And that is something that you cannot do with the issue share level link. So now let's open this link. There are a lot of tickets on our project. As you can see, it's paginated up to 19 pages, so it takes some loading time. But you can see the rendered view for the filter share. You can obviously go ahead and filter it or sort it by columns, start watching it, and you can also watch all of the issues on this. Basically, that's what you can do. We can watch all the issues on that ticket. Let's go have a quick peek at the board view. The board view works a bit differently. You don't define a JQL. You have to select which board you want to pick. If you want to have a custom board shared, you have to then create that custom board on your instance, on your software project, and then it will show up here and you can then share that. Again, you have that option here. And let's have a look at the timeline. Oh, we didn't open the board. Okay, let's open the timeline. And I'm gonna open the board as well. There we go. That's the timeline view. The cool thing about the timeline view, this view, is that you can actually define the JQL. So you are not limited to the timeline that you have on Jira. You can define new timelines. You can have custom timelines for different teams that you want to share it with. And that's the board view. You can group it, you can quick filter it, and you can also customize those cards and all of those things. But again, we're not jumping into customization because this is a whole other video that we can talk about customization. And yeah, I believe that is it for today. One more thing about security options. This is not all the security options that there is. There is also IP validation. And even for the selected users, you can define domains. So you can say all of the users that have Warsaw Dynamics in their email address should have access to that content. And so that's additional information on how those security options work. There is, as I mentioned, there is IP validation, SSO, and so there is many layers of security methods you can add. And keep in mind that from a privacy perspective, your content is not saved anywhere, and it's not shared with third-party apps. So your content is safe. You can publicly publish it to the web if you want. Most people don't do that on external share for Jira, at least. They do that with external share for Confluence because then they want to publish documentation. This is what we do for our own apps. We publish all the documentation through external share for Confluence. But that is for another video to talk about external share for Confluence. I think on this video we're going to conclude it here. Thank you for your attention, and have a wonderful time.